So we are actually already recording.
Oh, okay.
But no. You don't.
Okay, so initially we started with Flipgrid. I would say, get a patient and they would get maybe their husband or their mother or their child, which was kind of cool, and they would teach them how to brush their teeth, which would be the assignment, and then they would have feedback from the patient as to whether, if they had questions. They love the Flipgrids. I'll give you a really good example. So in one of my courses, I teach about eating disorders. We would always do a lesson on bulimia, and literally the very next week, a student came in and she said, Mrs. N, you're not going to believe this. She said, I had a patient the day after I did that Flipgrid on bulimia, and she had the signs in her mouth of bulimia. And she said, I said to her exactly what I said in the Flipgrid, and fortunately it was right. And she was like, thank you. She actually thanked me for giving him an assignment, which is rare.
Wow.
I know, and so I told my supervisor, oh my gosh, it's just a little bit more real life. Yes, it might take a little bit longer to grade as a faculty member, but then I learn things too, because I'm like, oh, I never thought of it that way, and it's just, that was a really good example. Another really good example is Michelle Crum. She's the director of nursing, so she had told me that she does these escape rooms. You could call it a puzzle, you could call it, an escape room. You go into a sterilization area in an office, and in order to get through to the end, you have to select what type of gloves you would use, because there's different type of gloves in dentistry. So in order to escape to the next level, you have to select the right answer. And if not, though, it wasn't like a quiz. You could go back and it would tell you, try again, or, gross, or do you really, something funny. We kind of tried to make it fun, but then they would still learn. And so we did, for the first time, an infection prevention escape room. So we started just with questions and pictures, and then Jackie said, how about we record some answers? So I went down and she recorded me saying, gross, would you really put instruments with blood over here? But then it would take them back and they could do the right answer. So, and then at the end, you're like, yay, congratulations, you escaped the sterilization room. And one thing that I have learned also is if you're kind of, as an instructor, willing to put yourself in a video, instead of just standing there, this is how if you kind of can do some fun things that the students maybe can relate to you, then I hopefully think that they'll learn it and maybe listen a little bit better. One of the videos that I made, I kept dropping, it's called a barrier that you put over the dental chair, and I dropped it 4 times. And at one point I said, oh my goodness, I just keep dropping it. But I just kept going, and we ended up going ahead and using that one because students drop them all the time and then they think they're going to get in trouble. I come to every faculty meeting and, you guys, look what we can do. Sometimes in health sciences or, it's just the facts. They have to know the facts. And yeah, they do, but you can also make it fun. And I think that's why now, and it's so much more fun to teach when they actually say, oh, I kind of like this. So.